Man, between the Nintendo Switch Pro rumors, the game delays from PlayStation, and the E3 schedule being released this week, I have no idea where I'm going to start at, but we're going to try to go ahead and get you guys through it. I got Mark here to help me out. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, be sure to like and subscribe for more content just like this. Yeah, guys, in the E3 schedule, it was finally revealed here this week, and I gotta say, it is absolutely packed with events. Now, you can check out the schedule for yourself over on e3expo.com. But as far as the events that are going down for next week, starting on June 12th, E3 will go ahead and kick off a press event from Ubisoft and Gearbox Entertainment. And then on Sunday, June 13th, the broadcast pre-show will go ahead and kick off at 11:45 Eastern Time or 8:45 a.m. Pacific Time. From there, Microsoft's long-awaited Xbox and Bethesda game showcase will go ahead and kick off at 10 a.m. Pacific Time or 1 p.m. Eastern Time. In addition, fans can go ahead and look forward to special presentations from Square Enix, the PC Gaming Show, and the Future Games. Warner Brothers games and a few other companies will be featured as well. On Monday, they'll continue the pre-show at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, and during the day, you'll be able to see events from Take-Two Interactive as well as Capcom. Finally, on June 15th, the last day of E3, the broadcast pre-show will go ahead and kick off at 8 a.m. Pacific Time or 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and of course, Nintendo, as tradition, will go ahead and finish the show off. Their live programming will go ahead and kick off at 9 a.m. Pacific Time or noon Eastern. In addition, Bandai Namco will go ahead and have a featured event as well. To round off E3, the broadcast will go ahead and have an official awards show at the end of the show. So there it is, the E3 schedule finally dropped and everything. It's great to see that we have an event scheduled for the show for this year. Can't wait to check it out. Should be absolutely phenomenal. I don't think it'll be as hectic. All we have to do is just sit back and relax on our computers and watch the weekly wrap-up, as we will be covering extensive coverage for each stream. So you guys definitely want to keep an eye out, because I'll be sure to go ahead and put the streams up once they go live immediately. So be sure to keep a lookout for that. Alright guys, and now earlier on this week, the Nintendo Switch Pro seemed to blow up the Twitter sphere as rumors circulated that the console would be releasing sometime here this week potentially. So far, at the time of publishing this video, it has not been revealed. However, by the time you guys watch it, it may be revealed.
No.
But according to Twitter account Centro Leaks, he has stated that pre-order listings may go live as soon as June 4th at midnight. Now, he didn't mention if that's midnight Eastern Time or midnight Pacific Time, which would be 3 a.m. Eastern Time. Who knows? Nintendo hasn't made any kind of formal announcement, so we're not quite sure if this is actually real or not. But with these placeholders out there already, it absolutely looks like it's going to be a sure thing. The Nintendo Switch Pro is absolutely real. And with Nintendo earlier on this week releasing information on the Treehouse Live event, which is scheduled to be going down on that Tuesday of E3 week, they went ahead and formally announced that they will be focusing specifically on software, not hardware. So that paves the way for Nintendo to go ahead and unveil the Nintendo Switch Pro right before E3, and then go ahead and give us further information on the Nintendo Switch Pro as far as software goes, with enhancements as far as resolution, that sort of thing. So yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a thing. Definitely make sure you guys keep a lookout for the Nintendo Switch Pro. So does Xbox have exclusivity when it comes to Dolby tech? It looked like they did, but now it looks like they don't. I wish they would just make up their mind, but apparently it looks like they don't, because they went ahead and deleted the blog post from Xbox France. So the blog post detailed that they had exclusivity rights when it comes to Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. As you guys know, Dolby Vision focuses on 4K images and Dolby Atmos focuses on the audio side. The blog post initially said that the exclusive rights were set to be for 2 years, but of course, like I mentioned, the post has now been removed. So it's really odd story. I'm not exactly sure, what Xbox France was thinking when it came to this story. I don't know if there's maybe a miscommunication within Xbox, within Microsoft, or what, but apparently this is not a thing. But I guess maybe we'll have to just stay tuned whenever it comes to it to see if there's more information on it. And finishing out my segment for today, when it comes to Gran Turismo 7, it looks like the game has been pushed back to 2022. No big surprise there. Hopefully it comes out here maybe quarter 1 or quarter 2. We'll just have to see what Polyphony Digital's up to whenever it comes down to it at the end of the day. But they did reveal that the game would also be indeed coming to PlayStation 4 as well. Now, I thought this was really interesting. Apparently they decided that, we're going to go ahead and release this title for the PS4 and the PS5, and the decision was actually made kind of at the last minute. If they want to go ahead and really push the PlayStation 5, I think that this game should be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, not necessarily coming out on the PlayStation 4 as well. You want to slowly, sunset the PS4, gracefully. You still want to have some titles come out for the PlayStation 4, but you guys saw that trailer for the PlayStation 5 on Gran Turismo 7. I mean, look at it right here. Are you guys kidding me? This is some of the best visuals I've ever seen when it comes to a racing game. It's absolutely stunning. You want to make sure you go ahead and include your blockbuster titles for just specifically for your mainstream console. It's great that it's coming out for the PlayStation 4. You guys haven't gotten your hands on a PlayStation 5 yet. Hey, you guys can go ahead and check it out on a PlayStation 4, right? That's always a good thing. But at the end of the day, I just kind of wish the game would have been released exclusively on PlayStation 5. But it is what it is. And speaking of delays, Mark has more delay news coming from PlayStation when it comes to God of War. Mark, what's going on with God of War and Kratos, bro?
Thanks, Al, and unfortunately there is some more delayed news. God of War Ragnarok has been delayed officially to 2022. This should surprise nobody. We haven't heard about the game, we haven't seen anything about the game. I know that they announced it for 2021, but silence is pretty loud. So we're not sure exactly when in 2022 it is going to come out, but we do know it also will be releasing on PS4, very similar to Gran Turismo 7. This is upsetting a few PlayStation gamers. Understandably, you want the best experience you possibly can get, and if it's on last gen, then unfortunately there is a chance, and a strong chance, that it's going to be held back in some way, because it has to also run on last gen. However, according to Herman Hulst, this was always the plan for Horizon God of War, so hopefully, since the game has been built with that in mind, it won't suffer as much as it could. Now, pivoting into some great news for PlayStation, hopefully, there seems to be a live event planned for June without being announced yet. As you heard earlier, Al listed all the events coming to E3 in early June, and it would make sense that PlayStation wouldn't want to miss out on any of that hype for that week. However, there's been no news about when or what will be shown in PlayStation's event. All we know is that it looks like, from insiders in the industry, that PlayStation is planning a June event, so hopefully we know about this soon. And in more PlayStation news, randomly today on the blog and Twitter, PlayStation announced 7 new VR games. So these games include Sniper Elite VR's release date, which is July 8th, a new game called Wander, where you rewrite the past and reshape the future, Fract, which is a new first-person shooter VR game, After the Fall, which is a co-op VR game made by the same people who made Arizona Sunrise, the zombie shooter, Winds and Leaves, which is a flora builder, and it looks like it's going to be a gardener's fantasy. The best name ever for a PSVR game, Puzzle Bobble 3D Vacation Odyssey, which seems like a 3D bubble game for your phone, something like that, but it looks pretty cool. Check it out. And then finally rounding it out, a stealth action sandbox game called Arashi Castle of Sin. All these games look really, really good and just help pad out that PSVR's library. And hopefully with PSVR 2 looming on the horizon, all these games will be backwards compatible. And if you're excited about PSVR 2, check out the link above where we completely break down why PSVR 2 will dominate PSVR 1. Now, I know a lot of PlayStation gamers out there are pretty upset about this PS4, PS5 kerfuffle that PlayStation has got themselves into. Have you seen that Horizon Forbidden West trailer? Don't worry, I think we're good on PS5. Horizon is reported having a 60 frames per second and ray tracing already built into the PS5 version. Along with that, the hero lighting that shows Aloy and all of the other characters in the best lighting that they could possibly be is only on PS5, except in cutscenes, which will also be featured on PS4. So that just shows how much love and care Guerrilla is putting into the PS5 version. So along with that, haptic feedback, like I said, the 60 frames, and the ray tracing on PS5, Horizon Forbidden West will completely look like a different game on PS5. And finally, rounding out the excellent PlayStation news that we have today, Team Asobi, the creators of Astrobot and Astrobot's Playroom, are now officially a PlayStation studio. This is great news, especially with the negative news of Sony Japan Studios closing. Asobi seems to have completely risen from the ashes of this studio, and now will be in the same echelon as Naughty Dog, Guerrilla, Sucker Punch, Insomniac, and all of the other PlayStation studios that are crushing it. So here's hoping, now that they're an official studio, that we're going to be getting an Astrobot full-length game in VR, out of VR, all over, across the board. This seems like it might be the new Sackboy and finally PlayStation's Mario, if it's handled correctly. But that seems to be all the news this week. Before all the floodgates open next week, here's out.
Okay, Mark, thanks for that. Awesome stuff as usual. When it comes to Team Asobi, it's fantastic that they are officially a PlayStation studio. And like you said, I really look forward to seeing them hopefully go ahead and make Astrobot the official mascot for PlayStation. If you guys haven't played Astro's Playroom on the PlayStation 5, you're doing yourself a disservice, because it absolutely demonstrates exactly what the capabilities are when it comes to the PlayStation 5's DualSense controller. It's absolutely phenomenal, so you want to make sure that you don't miss it if you haven't played it yet. For Mark, you guys want to make sure you're following him over on PlayStation Universe, where he's writing up awesome content over there for the masses. Definitely make sure you're following him there and checking out his work. Additionally, he's also on Twitter. You can follow him there at LostHeroes13. Additionally, if you want to follow the Weekly Wrap-Up, we're also on Twitter as well, at the Weekly Wrap-Up, as well as myself at Albert Perkins II. Be sure to follow all of those handles for your latest and greatest in gaming. I'm A to the P. Albert Perkins, and you? Well, looks like you just got wrapped up for this week, folks. Get ready, because we're about to go down for next week when it comes to E3 2021. This is the place you want to be. I'm A to the P. Albert Perkins, and we will see you in the next video. Until then, and as always, peace.